What's up guys, welcome back to Pat Outdoors. This is going to be part 3 of the electric mini quad project. I am on the way to the fabricator to get the welds finished up on the rear seat bracket and for him to fabricate the additional motor mount on the bottom of the frame. So this is actually my favorite part about having a mini. When I bought this Predator 125, I could barely fit it in this SUV. I actually had to unbolt the handlebar, fold it down, and it was pretty much touching the headliner. But now that we put tinier tires on it and put shorter and stiffer suspension, it actually made quite a bit of room. You can see there's now a couple inches above the handlebar. So now I don't even have to worry about buying a trailer. I can just roll the quad in the back of my SUV and lock the parking brakes. All right, just a quick recap in case you're new to this channel. This is a Kayo Predator 125 that I picked up from Craigslist for $450. Not running, a bunch of broken plastics and flat tires, busted transmission, missing carburetor. So I was not gonna return it back to stock. I pretty much purchased this for the frame. If you want to see the build from the start, make sure you check out the part 1 and part 2 videos. Right now we are at AAC Fabrication in Woodbridge, Virginia. My buddy Tim here is going to fabricate a motor mount for the bottom of the frame and finish up the welds on the seat bracket so we can make sure that there is full support all around the QS138 motor. Since this motor makes a ton of torque, I don't want it twisting or tearing up the stock mount. At least when we get an additional brace over here and 2 more mounting points, I can finally turn the power up on the controller to the max setting. I'm just using the Electro & Co 20 kilowatt EMX kit that they made for the dirt bike. I actually used this for my YZ250 a few years ago. It's just a QS138 V3 motor, Voltal EM260 controller, and here are the switches, voltmeter, and the surround throttle that it came with. Super easy to install. We're gonna clean up all the wiring once we tear this thing back down and get the frame painted. But for now, let's just get the fabrication wrapped up. If you want to get more information on any of the parts that we use for this project, I'll have the full build list in the description below. You can also get yourself 5% off anything from Electro & Co by using discount code PATOutdoors5. Look at that, fits nice and snug already. I'm so glad I reached out to a fabricator that does this for a living. And here's a closer look at how the additional brace ended up looking like. I'm so glad that I had Tim do this because these welds are definitely going to be a lot stronger than what I would have done at home with my flux core welder. He actually ended up TIG welding it. Now that we got the quad back home, got the fabrication wrapped up, and did the initial tests on the street to make sure that the drivetrain is functioning correctly, I'm going to start tearing this whole thing down again so we can start prepping the frame surfaces for paint. I may also cut a few more additional brackets that we're no longer going to need just to fully clean up the frame as much as we can. I think I'm also going to have all the control arms and the swing arm painted the same color as well. I think that's going to look super fresh. I made a post on my community tab asking you guys what color you want to see this thing. I am leaning towards some sort of metallic purple though. Holy shit, this thing is super light. Obviously, we're going to reinstall the bin and the build details. I just want to make sure that the painter has full access to every part of this frame. I'm trying to make this build look as clean as possible when we're all done. Now what I really want to do is power wash this thing outside, but unfortunately it is 20 degrees below freezing here in Virginia. I'm also going to be bringing this quad to my local paint shop since I'm trying to make this thing look super nice. My buddy Chris happens to be a professional painter and he offered to refinish the whole frame, swing arms and all the control arms, whatever color that I want, since I'm helping him out with his Roar Mantis, which works out perfectly because I was not excited to prep this thing for paint. It's probably not going to turn out as good if we finish it here at home. I also don't have a paint booth or proper ventilation system in my garage, and I have a 6-week-old baby in the house, so I'd rather play it safe. All right, we now got the frame, swing arm, and all the steering components cleaned and degreased. I'm gonna leave it at this point since Chris is still gonna have to sand everything down and prep it for paint. For the meantime, I'm gonna focus on the battery tray. Before we continue, if you're enjoying today's video so far, please hit that like button. And if you could also do me a favor by pressing the hype button so more people can see this project. And if you wanna keep up with the mini quad build or any of my bike projects, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn your bell notification on. I'm probably just going to reuse this aluminum battery tray that I riveted together a couple of years back for my YZ250. It's going to cut out a lot of fabrication steps for us since it's using the same exact battery. And I'm going to go with a different battery for that bike. I'm probably just going to have to cut off all these brackets on the backside and then drill some holes on the tray itself so we can reuse some of the mounting points on the frame. Battery tray is going to end up looking something like that. It's going to have 4 mounting points on the lower section. Then we're going to put the battery on. I'm just going to use the 2 curb hopper straps to keep the battery in place. So my buddy just came by and picked up the frame and all the other parts that he's painting. So while he's working on that, I'm going to work on cleaning up all these parts that are going back on the quad when we're putting it back together. Kind of sucks that it's 12 degrees outside, so all my exterior faucets are currently turned off, so we can't exactly power wash this. We just got the frame and all the painted components back from the paint shop, and I think it looks absolutely stunning. I decided to go with a factory BMW paint code. This is C56 or Thunder Night Metallic. It's hard to tell inside with my phone camera or by photos, but in the right lighting or outside in the sunny day, you can really see all the glitter and the metallic in the base coat, and it is absolutely stunning. Man, now I'm gonna feel really bad if I get this thing all scratched up in the dirt. The finish isn't perfect everywhere though. There's some light spots inside the brackets and around the ball joints, simply from the tape work, but I really cannot complain because I got a pretty decent deal for this. I'm probably gonna have them do my YZ250 as well. Definitely starting to come together now. I like that everything is uniform and everything is that metallic purple, except for all the rest of the parts that we're gonna bolt on here. I just ordered some lighting for this, LED light bar, underglow and whatnot. So I'm super excited to finish putting this thing together. But I noticed there are a few spots on the clear coat that left some fingerprints, as you can see over here, where I was handling the frame a little too hard. I just spoke with the painter and he mentioned that the clear coat might not be fully cured at this time, since this was just painted less than 24 hours ago and it didn't really have time to bake. So he suggested that I just put it inside my house where it's a little bit warmer and let it sit for a few days, just to make sure that the finish is fully cured before I handle it some more, just to reduce the chances of any damage on the clear coat, especially if I still have to fish through the brake hoses, all the wiring and mounting the motor on and whatnot. I just don't want to scratch anything else. I can always wet sand some light imperfections in the clear coat. That said, I'm gonna give it a couple days till we put this mini quad back together, and it also happens to be my birthday today, so I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my night with my family. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you like this kind of content, want to keep up with the mini quad project or any of my other builds, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn your bell notification on. But this is gonna be it for today. Thank you for watching.